Hathersage is a village and civil parish in the Peak District of Derbyshire, England. It lies slightly to the north of the River Derwent, approximately 10 miles southwest of Sheffield. The origin of its name is disputed, although it is generally accepted that the second half derives from the Old English word ecg, meaning edge. In 1086 it was recorded in the Domesday Book as Hathersage, and around 1220 as Hathersage. Mesolithic microliths have been found below Stanage Edge, indicating ancient occupation of the area. In the Outseats area there is evidence of Bronze Age field system settlement and burial cairn at Dennis Knoll. Close to a now recumbent 2.3 metre high boundary marker on Bamford Moor is an embanked stone circle, or possibly a ring cairn between 11 metres and 10 metres in diameter. There are remains of a Romano-British settlement, possibly a farmstead, at a location known as the Warren in the Outseats area. Finds from this site include Roman period pottery and a gritstone quern. An early leading smelt site, variously interpreted as Roman or early medieval, has been found at Bowl Hill. The Domesday Book records that in 1066 Hathersage was held by Leofric and his brother Leofnath. By 1086 Ralph, son of Hubert, is listed as both Lord and Tenant-in-Chief. The population in 1086 was 8 villagers and 2 smallholders. The earliest recorded church was built by Richard Bassett, son of Ralph Bassett, Chancellor of England in the reign of Henry I. The present Grade 1 listed structure dates mainly from the 14th and 15th centuries. The church, St Michael and All Angels, has a stained glass window by Charles Kemp, which was removed from Derwent Chapel before it was submerged under the Ladybower Reservoir. Near the church is an earthwork called Camp Green, thought to have been constructed during the Danish occupation. It is also scheduled as a Norman ringwork castle of the 11th or 12th century. In the graveyard lies the base and lower shaft of a plain early Saxon cross. In 1566, Christopher Schutz, a German immigrant who invented a process for drawing wire, set up a works in Hathersage. This became important in sieves used by miners, and later developed into pin and needle production. This led to one of the first factory acts because inhalation of grinding dust resulted in a life expectancy of only 30 years. In the mid-18th century, Hathersage became famous for its brass buttons. Some of the mill buildings from this era have now been converted into flats. In 1728, Daniel Defoe recorded how the moors around Hathersage were the source of building stones and millstones. Millstones were used in wood pulping industries in the area, and were also exported to North America, Russia and Scandinavia for the same purpose. Locally, the millstones were used for crushing lead ore and the ingredients for paint. In Dorset, pig stones were used for farm meal and barley crushing. The local gritstone tended to discolour bread, so were not generally used to grind wheat. There is evidence of a post-medieval lime kiln, possibly constructed in the 1830s in the Outseats area. In the 18th century, the village was connected to Sheffield by the Sheffield to Hathersage turnpike. Hathersage is a tourist destination because of the scenery of the Hope and Derwent valleys, its literary connections and easy access by Traynor Road from Sheffield and Manchester. Its visitors come to swim in the open-air heated pool with cafe open all year, climb on Stanage Edge, which, with other nearby edges, has been the nursery for many famous British rock and mountain climbers, or ramble in its river valleys or hill walk on its open moors. Hathersage Moor is the site of the Carl Walk, Hill Fort and Higger Tor. Both are now within the Sheffield boundary. In 1990, the cutler David Mellor opened the round building built on the site of a former gasometer as a cutlery factory in the village. The building was designed by architect Sir Michael Hopkins in 2007. An extension to the old retort house on the site was opened as a design museum. Mellor's wife, Fiona McCarthy, continued to live in Hathersage. Hathersage has two business parks, Hathersage Business Park and Hathersage Hall Business Centre. Hathersage has 3 churches, 1 school and numerous community organisations. There is an annual gala, scarecrow building competition and well dressing in July. On the 1st of April 2015, Hathersage and Outseats, the 2 parishes that comprise the village, were replaced by a single new parish council called Hathersage Parish Council, funnily enough. The population recorded at the 2011 census was 1,433, although the Parish Council website says the village has a population of 2,000. The village is served by Hathersage railway station on the Trans-Pennine Hope Valley line. Services run generally hourly in both directions between Sheffield and Manchester Piccadilly, operated mainly by Northern Trains. Hathersage is served by the 271 and 272 bus services on the Sheffield to Castleton route, which are operated by Hulleys and First South Yorkshire, and by service 257 run by Hulleys of Baslow. The village is served by Hathersage St Michael's C.of.E. Primary School, which offers education from nursery up to year 6. The school was rated as good in its November 2016 Ofsted report. The nearest secondary school is Hope Valley College. Stones in the churchyard mark what is known as the grave of Little John, where in 1780 James Shuttleworth claims to have unearthed a thigh bone measuring 72.39 centimetres or 28.5 inches. This would have made Little John 8 feet tall. One claimant to Robin Hood of Loxley is the village of Loxley, only 8 miles over the moors on the edge of Sheffield. A number of local landmarks are associated with Robin Hood, such as Robin Hood's Cross on Abney Moor, Robin Hood's Stoop on Offerton Moor, Hood Brook and Robin Hood's Cave on Stanage Edge. In 1845, Charlotte Bronte stayed at the Hathersage Vicarage, visiting her friend Ellen Nussey, whose brother was the vicar, while she was writing Jane Eyre. Many of the locations mentioned in her novel matched locations in Hathersage, the name Eyre being that of a family of the local gentry. Her Thornfield Hall is accepted as being based on North Lees Hall on the outskirts of Hathersage. Some of the scenes of the horror film Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, 1974, directed by George Gras, also known as The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, were shot at St Michael's Church in Hathersage. Hathersage is home to Hathersage FC, who currently compete in the Hope Valley Amateur Football League. Hathersage Cricket Club and ground is based on Balk Lane, Hathersage. The club have 3 senior teams, a first and second 11 that compete in the Yorkshire and Derbyshire Cricket League, and a friendly Sunday 11. The club also have an active junior training section that play league cricket in the North Derbyshire Youth Cricket League. The Fat Boys Stanage Struggle is a popular local fell race that starts in Hathersage, altitude 91 metres or 299 feet, and routes up to and along Stanage Edge to High Neb, 458 metres or 1,503 feet, before returning to the village 367 metres, 1,204 feet below.